stomach is full. You feel Bonnie and Isabel gripping your hands tightly. You feel the wind caress your hair. You feel nothing but the world around you. You inhale. I can't imagine the writers. It smells like fresh air and leaves on a sunny day. Awesome. But at the same time, you smile. In Stars and Time. I was about to say, I can't imagine the writers at this point are vindictive enough to have us loop. I finally get to look at all these achievements I've been getting. Wow, that's actually a really high number. The achievement for getting the, get to the end and scene, 35.5% of players. That's actually quite surprising. Only 13.7% had one last chat with Luke? No! You bastards gotta go sign back in and... Thank you for playing. Thank you for making a game. In Stars and Time, probably... I don't think I need to stress about saying this is, holy shit, one of the greatest video games I've played. On at least a writing level. Gameplay was great too, but kind of simple. Of the major recent indie games I've played, obviously I love Delta. Wow, I've been playing too many good games recently. Holy shit that it wasn't just a slam dunk, this is my favorite. Whoa. I did like it more than Outer Wilds, or Outer Worlds, whichever's the time loop one. I'll never get it straight. Wow, I've been playing too many good games recently. This should have just been an easy 10 out of 10 if I was to give a number to this bullshit. It's better than Slay the Princess. That one's not hard. Wow. I do have some issues with how happy the ending ended up being. I feel like it was kind of a... I appreciate that... Do I appreciate that the loop where... It's the loop where we went nuts was the one where everything worked out. So it's a little sad in that regard that Sifrin didn't actually need to have individual character development to be able to get through, but rather completely tear down his character to such an extreme that others were able to, push things out the other side. Ironically, going as bad as possible ended up being good. I don't know how I feel about that from a thematic perspective. I'll have to think about that. It's a little bit of a Stockholm Syndrome thing. I don't think, outside of perhaps Odile, that on a moment-to-moment basis, that I love any of the given main characters. But I've been stuck with them for 50 goddamn loops. I kinda love them now. I know everything about them. Odile's great. No notes. This is the perfect... This is what I was missing, going back to, Outer Wilds, is that feeling of hopelessness in interacting with the world around you is one of the most fascinating things about time loops, and the knowledge of a given day. And this just completely mastered every question you might have about a time loop situation. I love time loops, so it's one of my favorite narrative tropes. So I came into this with high hopes, and every single one of them met. Even the stuff... One of the bigger disappointments for me, and this is actually in Stars and Time a little bit too, but it's less dramatic. I'll explain. In Majora's Mask 3D, is that it lets you Song of Time to specific times of the day. And to me, in a time loop game, or in that kind of situation, a part of the game is having to wait around, being forced to go through some of the rigmarole to get to what you're trying to do. Because you're trying to put yourself in the shoes of the protagonist, who's just completely trapped. In Stars and Time has looping forward, which does equate some of the same effect, but you lose out on a lot of the early stuff, so you're not incentivized to do it for the most part. So, I'd almost say remove it looping forward entirely from In Stars in Time. To maximize the effect, but obviously from a gameplay perspective, that would be impractical. I'm not saying it'd be a great choice, but I think it would have been the right thematic one. You can't always make the right thematic choice when you're making a video game, so no hate. Where I'm stuck right now, story-wise, is unless I missed it in, like, some secret path, maybe if I followed the shades of Sifrin, if I'd gone through more loops, maybe that would have been pulling the thread, but the Forgotten Island, like, that is too specific of a major event of the world for us not to find out what happened. Like, it's not like it was just a generic, I was kidnapped, I don't know where I'm from. Like, there was some shit that happened. I almost feel like that was them setting up a sequel at this point, because what the hell? Like, and do feel free to tell me if there was just something I missed that would have explained everything. Because I do think that it's okay for us to not have the answer. You know, you'll always be missing that part of yourself idea. But there's such an intrigue to exactly what happened. It's a weird choice for them to give that much intrigue to this thing and do nothing with it. It's just really weird. Theoretically, an In Stars in Time sequel, and I kind of assume that maybe there's I'm guessing the only bad ending is if we chose to attack the party. And at that big final demon mode giant Sifrin boss battle. I'm guessing. So I'm treating this as the canon ending, because almost no one was gonna do that without seeking the bad ending. They weren't gonna do it for narrative reasons. Sifrin is probably, as a protagonist, Sifrin is incredibly well written. He has agency. He's unique, he's not just a blank slate, but at the same time, he functions in the video game protagonist role of obviously we're in control of him the whole time. He gets on your nerves sometimes because of some of the things that he says that feel like wouldn't be a normal person's reaction in a given situation, but he's not a normal person. Yeah, if I was to assign a single possible strongest point, it would be the protagonist for this game. I still have broadly mixed feelings on Luke. Their presence in the story, like, it's a good reveal. The story for Loop is good, but as a character, I never fully gelled with them. I like going through as many of my thoughts as I can possibly think of right now. There's no way I can get through them all. This is the kind of game that's gonna settle over the next coming weeks and months, how I fully feel about everything. Tutorial kid was woefully underused. Didn't know what they had there, how great of a character that was. Yeah, that's the one thing I'll leave on, is it really does feel like there's going to be a sequel. Because, yeah, it's a plot thread that to me doesn't just work as that thing that we'll never know. It's like, this island disappeared from the world? Like, that's not even just a you-specific problem. Like, what you're telling me, Thanos showed up and Thanos snapped this one particular island out of existence. Pretty much. And that's not a story thread we can follow? That's not right. Yeah, I'll just end on that thought, this is the perfect confluence of things, because the things I don't like about this game are things that make me like it. Like, I think it's horrendously paced, but it has to be. It has to be horrendously paced. That's part of what makes it outstanding. I hope that my performances lived up to some scenes, if not most. Something else that can break them. Something. Then what else, Loop? What else am I supposed to do? What else am I supposed to try? Should I make everyone come with me? Should I rely on the power of love? Should I talk to the king, the head housemaiden? Should I die? Should everyone die? What else is there? Haven't I done it all? There's nothing else, Loop. I know it's stupid, I know it's a long shot, but it has to be this. It has to be this, Loop, or... Have a beautiful rest of your day.